The evening lights hum softly across Main Street, USA. The air smells like caramel and rain. A child's laughter echoes off the storefronts while the castle towers glow in muted gold. Somewhere, fireworks wait behind the cloud line, suspended between memory and tomorrow. I stand still for a second, feeling time fold. Disney's changing again, and this time it feels different. Why can't we let go of Disney, even as adults? Maybe it's not about the rides or the shows, but about the fragments of ourselves we left here, the tiny versions who believed that magic could outlast the world. But what happens when the castle itself starts to change, when the stories we grew up with start to look new? In 2026, Walt Disney World will transform more than it has in decades. Massive renovations, new lands, farewells to beloved corners. It's not just construction, it's evolution. The end of an era and the beginning of another. And in this video, we'll explore more than what's changing. We'll explore what it means to let go, to grow, and to believe again. If you love exploring the hidden emotions behind Disney's magic, hit like and subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow and keeps the wonder alive. And hey, let me know in the comments, where are you watching this from? Because somewhere out there, I know you understand the feeling.
Price hikes return. They say magic comes at a price, but this year, the price tag feels heavier. Tickets climb higher, meals stretch budgets, and even the souvenirs whisper luxury. For families dreaming of their next Disney trip, 2026 begins with an invisible toll, not on their wallets, but on their sense of belonging. I felt it too, standing at the entrance gate, realizing that dreams now come with new numbers attached. There's a strange silence when you hand over more than before for the same smile. The park looks the same, the melodies, the colors, the scent of popcorn, yet something beneath it all has shifted. Maybe inflation, maybe strategy, maybe a reminder that even fairy tales have accountants. You can almost hear the hum of change beneath the laughter of children. And still, people come. Because how do you measure the worth of a memory? A price increase can't stop a promise made to a child or a tradition passed from one generation to the next. For them, for us, it's never been about the numbers. It's about the feeling of standing right here again beneath a sky painted by fireworks. Maybe that's the secret Disney knows. That magic isn't sold, it's remembered. And as we count the costs, we also count the years, the faces, the moments that brought us here. Change may sting, but what remains underneath is something no receipt could ever capture.
Hotel perks vanish. It used to start the moment you checked in, that quiet hum of belonging. Magic bands blinking softly on your wrist, early entries to empty parks, buses gliding through dawn. There was a rhythm to it, a kind of invisible choreography that made you feel like Disney wasn't just a place you visited, but something that visited you back. Now, some of that rhythm has faded into silence. Gone are the little extras that once whispered, "Welcome home." Discounts thin out like old postcards. Early access windows narrow. The Magic Band, once a heart monitor of happiness, now feels like a relic of simpler days. It's strange. You don't realize how much those small luxuries mattered until they're memories tucked between ticket stubs. But maybe this is what growing with Disney feels like. The slow realization that comfort shifts shape. The magic doesn't vanish, it just asks more of you. Maybe it's in the way you plan differently, wander longer, or find joy in the imperfections. You start to notice new kinds of enchantment, not the effortless kind, but the kind you choose to believe in all over again. Still, at night, when you glimpse the monorail lights passing distant hotel towers, you remember how it felt when those perks made everything easy. It wasn't just convenience, it was intimacy, and losing it hurts. Not because we crave luxury, but because it made the fairy tale feel closer to home.
Parks under construction. You walk in expecting wonder, but the skyline looks different. Behind the music, there's the clatter of metal and drills, pathways rerouted, passel views hidden behind scaffolds. It's unsettling, like watching your favorite story being rewritten mid-sentence. Everywhere you turn, there's a sign that reads, "Pardon our pixie dust," and you wonder how much dust it takes to cover nostalgia. The parks are alive, but not in the same way. It's a year of in-between, dreams half-built, memories half gone. You see families taking photos in front of fences painted with future concept art, laughter still echoes through the air, mixing with the hum of machines. It feels almost poetic, the magic and the mess existing side by side. There's beauty in the chaos, though, the kind that reminds you everything worth loving is constantly under construction. Maybe the cranes are there not to ruin the view, but to remind us that imagination doesn't rest. Even dreams need maintenance. Even castles need care. Still, walking past the closed rides and drained fountains, you can't help but feel a little disoriented. It's like Disney's heart is beating, but off rhythm. The question lingers, will it feel the same when the walls come down? Maybe that's the quiet test of faith every Disney fan eventually faces.
Goodbye, Dinoland, USA. It's quiet now in the corner of Animal Kingdom where dinosaurs once roared. The colors have faded under the Florida sun, the fossil bones casting long, nostalgic shadows. For years, Dinoland was a strange kind of comfort. Part carnival, part museum, all heart. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was honest. A place built more on charm than spectacle. When news came that Dinoland would close, the internet filled with memories. Greeny photos, first rides, laughter on the spinning triceratops. It wasn't just a land, it was a time capsule. Every goodbye inside Disney feels like losing a chapter of childhood, even for those who never rode everything. You realize it's not nostalgia for dinosaurs, it's nostalgia for the version of yourself who met them. The closure feels bittersweet, but there's a quiet excitement in the air too. Behind those empty paths, new life is forming, the promise of the tropical Americas, full of color, music, and ancient myths reborn. The end always hides a beginning, and maybe Disney has always been a master at disguising grief as transformation. Standing before the gates one last time, you trace the faded footprints on the concrete. You whisper a small thank you, because sometimes saying goodbye isn't about loss. It's about making space for wonder to grow again. Dinoland may vanish from the map, but its spirit will echo in every future roar of imagination. Who will lead Disney next? Every empire has its changing of the guard, and for Disney, that moment is now. Bob Iger's farewell feels almost cinematic. The man who guided decades of magic stepping away once more, leaving behind questions that hang like lanterns in the dusk. The parks, the movies, the heartbeat of the brand, they all wait for a new voice to define what comes next. Leadership changes sound distant, like corporate headlines. But here, inside the parks, it feels personal. Because Disney's not just a business, it's a feeling shaped by vision. Every parade, every melody, every promise whispered in fireworks, they all come from choices made in a boardroom we'll never see. Whoever sits there next will decide the tone of our dreams. People wonder if the next leader will protect what makes Disney human. Will they listen to the quiet spaces between the profits, the smell of churros, the shimmer of tears during the final song, or will magic bend beneath metrics? That uncertainty feels like standing in line for an unknown ride, hearing the soundtrack faintly through the walls. Still, I can't help but hope. Disney's story has always been driven by change, by dreamers who dared to see beyond the bottom line. Maybe the next leader, whoever they are, will find the courage to dream responsibly, to build not just parks, but promises. After all, even the brightest castles need a keeper who still believes in wishes.
New lands rising. Then, through the dust and silence, color returns. Cranes lower, walls fall, and glimpses of the future begin to shimmer through the haze. Villains stalk new realms of shadow and fire. The tropical Americas hum with life. Parrots, ruins, waterfalls growing from imagination. Even Soarin' stretches its wings across a changing America. In the middle of all that noise, something softly beautiful happens. Hope rebuilds itself. There's a certain smell to new paint and fresh pavement, a scent of promise. It reminds you of opening night jitters, that feeling when artificial light meets real emotion. You can almost hear the storytellers behind the blueprints whispering ideas like prayers. This is what Disney has done for a century, erase the line between building and feeling. And yet, the new doesn't overwrite the old, it carries it. Every new land borrows a heartbeat from those buried beneath it. Maybe that's the secret recipe, that even destruction has a touch of creation. Disney doesn't just change, it molts, like magic renewing its own skin. Walking through the gates when these places open, you'll sense it. That tingling at the base of your spine that says the world can still surprise you. The dust was never the end, it was the cocoon. And what comes next feels like a dream waking up.
Plan smart, dream bigger. Change at Disney doesn't mean the end of magic. It just asks us to meet it halfway. The trick now is balance. Plan wisely, but leave space for wonder. Learn the new systems, dodge the price traps, study the crowd flows. Yes, but also stop and look at the confetti in the air. The family in matching shirts, the stranger holding a churro and smiling for no reason. The best experiences usually happen between the plans. I've learned that navigating the parks today is almost an art form. It's not just about securing reservations or getting the perfect shot. It's about tuning into the rhythm of the place. Some days, the magic meets you right at the entrance. Other days, it hides in a quiet corner near a fountain, waiting until you slow down enough to notice it. Maybe that's the lesson of Disney's transformation. Not to chase the old feeling, but to find new ones. The moment you let go of what it used to be, you start to see what it's becoming. Every trip is a chance to experience that rebirth, to be part of the living story that never really ends. So plan smart, yes. Watch the updates, mark the closures, but when you arrive, dream bigger. Because Disney's best-kept secret is that the magic was never only in the parks. It's in the people who keep showing up, hearts open, ready to believe again.
The sun sets behind Cinderella Castle, and the reflections in the moat shimmer like old memories. You stand there, maybe for a minute too long, letting the music drift through the air. It's softer than you remember, or maybe you're just listening differently now. All those changes, the closures, the price hikes, the new lands, they blur together into one quiet truth. Nothing magical ever stays the same. And maybe that's the point. Why can't we let go of Disney even as adults? Maybe because Disney doesn't really let go of us. It stores pieces of who we were, the wonder, the hope, the belief that good stories never die. And each time we return, we find not what we lost, but what we've become. The magic was never only in the parks. It was in how we saw the world through them. Still, I wonder, what's the first thing you'd do if you could walk down Main Street right now? Would you head for the castle or just stand there, soaking it all in? Tell me in the comments, because every story here starts with someone who believed it was worth sharing. If this video made you see Disney in a new light, subscribe and help us keep these stories alive. Because behind every ride, every parade, every flicker of light, there's a human heartbeat, and it's still dreaming.